Hi, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Emma Radford and I'm a psychiatrist for a mental health service.
Very cool. What does that entail?
I help manage and work with people with serious mental illness, but I also lead a autism diagnostic team and secondary consultation team. So we help mental health services to identify autistic people that might have been missed when they were kids, and to get a diagnosis so their mental health can be better managed and treated.
Yeah, awesome. And what are some common executive functioning challenges that you see in yourself, in your family, in people that you work with?
I think probably the most common one would be difficulty starting a task.
Mm-hmm.
So people actually wanting to do something, they've got the motivation to do it, but they really struggle to actually get started.
Mm-hmm.
And they often really give themselves a hard time thinking that they're lazy, or other people thinking they're lazy, but it's just that they really struggle to start a task. And that's often for lots of different reasons. They can say they don't know where to start, there's too many things, or they're distracted by something else, or it's too overwhelming to start, and then they get paralysed.
Yeah, that freeze.
Yeah, definitely that freeze. And then the other things would be actually staying on task, so not getting distracted, being able to plan what to do first, second, third, next, and especially if things don't work, and you're having to shift.
Yeah, so working with change and sort of dynamic demands maybe.
Yep, yeah. Definitely. And also when other people set the task, so you're not necessarily being able to make it the way their mind works.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And other people might say, well, that's how you do it, but that's not how that person's mind works. I think probably otherwise getting knowing when to stop and start a task maybe. Although sometimes I think it's really hard to work out what's executive functioning sometimes and what's like attention, concentration, ADHD.
Yeah, and then how they intersect.
Yeah, even as a psychiatrist I can't work that out.
Yeah, and is that like when you're saying stopping and starting, is that like having challenges with transitions, or because I relate to that?
Yes, definitely transitions. So if you're really into something and switching off it, or even if you're not really into something, just the anxiety of having to switch off it. I'm not finished, or I haven't worked this out, and if I start that, I know I won't finish this.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving.
Never get done.
It's a lot of moving parts. And maybe a little perfectionism as well.
Yes, could be, definitely, yeah. And I think sometimes, remembering to do the stuff in the first place would be something. But even when you remember to do it, feeling that it's the right time to do it, and that the amount of time that you've got.
Yeah, so, that planning aspect.
So I think a lot of people won't start a task unless they know they've got a lot of time. So if they've got an appointment coming up at, say, 12 o'clock, they can't do any task until that appointment's done.
Yeah. Trying to estimate what can you fit in that.
Can't estimate that time. Or it's just too overwhelming an idea that if I start this, I might not be able to finish it, or I might be late for my appointment or something like that. So being able to judge it.
And then tessellate everything.
Yeah. And keep the multiple things in your head at once.
It's a lot. It's a lot more complicated to just do the thing.
Yeah.
And I guess in your work, what are some common strategies or interventions that support this kind of thing?
I think one of the worst ones is when people tell you to have a diary or something like that, and you get the advice, well, I forget to write it in the diary. I lost my diary. I read it in the diary, but then 5 minutes later I forgot that I read it in the diary. So I think there's a lot of strategies that neurotypical people tell people to do
Yeah.
that don't actually necessarily work.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or you just need a routine, or you just need this, or you just need that. But if it was that simple, people would have done it.
Yeah.
Already.
And I guess you've alluded to it, but what are the major gaps that you see in current supports for this kind of thing? Where are we?
I think one of the biggest gaps is in implementation support and problem solving as you go along. So being given a strategy, but there's no one there to problem solve with you if that strategy is not working, or I'm trying to do this, but where's the barrier? Which bit of this task am I struggling with? And breaking down that task enough. If you could do that on your own, then you do it. So I think there's a gap in people that can understand how tasks break down, and barriers in skills, and then there's a gap in support of how to implement that.
How to actually take it home and put it into practice. Put
it in your life in a way that makes sense and isn't just something that someone else has told you to do.
It's really tricky.
And
how do you think something like Pebbl, sort of something physical and tactile, could provide more support alongside other strategies?
I think tech is always helpful because it's a bit exciting.
It's a bit fun.
Gets your dopamine going. I think the fact that it's a simple design, it's not trying to do lots and lots of different things that could get you distracted while you're trying to set it up, or could be complex to set up. And that it's portable. So, and you could put it on your body so you're less likely to lose it.
I mean, that's me. I put my phone down and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yep. And I think also too, the phone, we were talking before about the phone reminders. I mean, even I find that I might get a phone reminder, it will come up and I'll check it on the diary, but then I'll see the 4 other things before and after and get a bit distracted by that. Or I look at the reminder and then I see a text message come up and
that sort of split focus.
So that does hone your focus into one process, which I think is really good. And the fact that it's with you all the time, potentially. And it's got sound and
it's got like sound, vibration, voice.
So different modalities to fit different ways of remembering or processing information. That'd be really good.
Cool. You've kind of alluded to this already, but do you have any other kind of personal stories or reflections that you feel like are relevant to this project?
I think the simplicity of it will be good for the people that I know that have intellectual disability or cognitive challenges. Because they can actually, it's not taking a whole lot of complexity to set up. I think executive functioning challenges change over a lifetime. So I think that it is really good if people can actually have something that can go with them over time that is adaptable, simple but adaptable, that can go with them over time as their challenges change in different contexts or different ages or different states of mental health, all those sorts of things.
Very big question, but what do you think is in the future for mental health and disability support? 5 years, 50 years?
I think it's always going to be a challenge because any system that has to ration resources finds a reason to say no to things. And often a really easy way to say no is this is a disability issue and not a mental health issue. So I'm hoping for the future that people learn more about the interaction between the two things and that they actually start to more and more as the concept of inclusion and the concept of neurodiversity and neurodivergence becomes more mainstream, that people realise that this is core business for everybody, and they have the skills to actually work out that, you know, how people with disability present differently with mental health.
Oh, that's such a good point. I've had interactions, like personally and professionally, where you're told, well, this service is for mental health, so autism doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah.
Or this is a disability service, and it sounds like you're experiencing anxiety. Yes. And it's sort of just one human. Yes. Different experiences.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'm hoping that as concepts of I've even noticed it over the last 5 years, the concept of sensory difference has come up a lot more in mental health. So you're starting to see the idea that it is everybody's job to think about the sensory experience of consumers, so therefore make things a bit more accessible for people getting. I'm hoping that those kind of concepts and universal design concepts further improve, so that it's not so horrible for people with disability to access things like the emergency department.
Yeah, I love that you just touched on universal design, because that is the inspiration point for Pebbl. It's like, how do we design something for the most complex humans with the most intersectional needs, and we'll go backwards from there. If it works for them, it should work for everyone. Yeah, really interesting design challenge. I think we're seeing that more and more in places like the ED and community mental health as well. Yeah, and the idea of that too is it's like in schools when people say, oh, you know, we can't, if we do that for one child, then, you know, we'll have to do that for everybody, and you know, it's too much resources and things like that. But the thing is that most of the supports and interventions for people with disability help everybody. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, because everybody has complex lives now. Yeah. The cognitive demands on everybody is really huge. The demands on our attention are really huge. Yeah. So something that can actually help you navigate the world, even if you don't have a disability or you're neurotypical or something, would be helpful. Yeah, so cool. Final question. What do you think is next for the Pebbl project? What should I go and do tomorrow? Oh, what should you go and do tomorrow? I think wouldn't it be great to think about different types of voices that you could have on there? Okay. Like in AAC, when you can have a voice in there that's an Australian kid or an American woman or something like that, so that people could feel that they can identify with it. Yeah. Or some people even might be able to hear different accents better than others. And do you think, similar to AAC, that voice should be similar to the voice of the user? Or, for example, my Pebbl has a male voice, even though, and I'm not sure why that helps me, but it's sort of like I am me and Pebbl is a separate helper. I think then it would be personal choice, wouldn't it? Because some people would want it to be similar and some people would want it to be different. Yeah. Some people might find that they can't hear a female voice because it's too high register. Of course. Or they feel threatened by a male voice bossing them around. It's time to it's 1 o'clock, it's time to feed the cat. Yeah. They might find that difficult to tolerate. So wouldn't it be great if you could actually pick different voices? Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So did I just make the programming very complex? No. I mean, this is, I think, something we try to do as much as we can in lots of spaces. Like, more choices is better for everything. Very cool. Well, thank you. My pleasure. Yeah.